Hi, people. I'm not going to make this one too long because I really just have one purpose in it, which is hopefully to act as a sort of deterrent, to serve rather as a deterrent for people who are going to behave the same way as the individual I'm going to be talking about here, Stephen Walsh. That's probably his real name. He's used a few other pseudonyms, Stevie Walsh. He's used various names. But this guy's been trolling me, and usually with people like this, they are best ignored. That's very true because they seek the attention, they want the attention, and that's it. But at the same time, I think it's important that people understand the sort of rhetoric that individuals like this come out with and the sort of distortion and manipulation because um, some people might look at his comments and read into them. It's just important that people understand the context. Now, my hope for this is that he will see this video and he'll learn his lesson. Um, so this is probably going to be a temporary video. I'm going to keep it up for a while. Hopefully he'll see it. Hopefully it will sufficiently bother him, so that he takes a hint and leaves me alone, basically. Get the hell off my channel. So without further ado, I've just been scrolling through some of my videos because I blocked him from the most recent ones, but he's inundated quite a few of them, specifically on the subject of online dating. So this is 2 months ago. I'm going to read out directly what he's written. This is who I've been dealing with, and this is on the video entitled "Ghosting People is Cowardice," because I believe it is, and a lot of the other videos out there will correlate with my viewpoint on that. But anyway, Stephen Walsh, little boy, exclamation mark. Your entitlement is absurd. If this is the way you go on, no woman will be interested in you. Get over yourself, you sad little man sitting in his mum's basement, crying over someone not messaging him back. But you're clearly some sort of creepy weirdo dude that can't take no for an answer. This is the charming comment Stephen Walsh came out with. I'm going to break that down a little bit. Little boy, well, I'm a 37-year-old man. Your entitlement is absurd. An entitled person would feel that they're owed something. I don't feel I'm owed anything. Like a lot of people, I'm seeking a relationship. It's not the same as thinking you're owed something. If this is the way you go on, no woman will be interested in you. Well, that's your opinion. I've had partners in the past, so clearly it's not a record of not having been with anyone. People want different things, women are different, so that statement's void. Get over yourself, you sad little man. I thought I was a boy. Make your mind up. Sitting in his mum's basement crying over someone not messaging him back. Well, this isn't a basement. I make my videos from this room and the other room. It's not a basement. It's the first floor of my house. So it's just a matter of record. It's not a basement. And that's an overused cliche, but yeah. Um, because you're clearly some sort of creepy weirdo dude that can't take no for an answer. Well, this is the whole basis of Stephen Walsh's trolling because I think it's important to just set the record straight because this guy is now claiming that he's some sort of defender of women's rights. The truth is, he's a troll and he's a faceless card. And it's pretty rich for him to call me a loser. Now I know I shouldn't step into the gutter with this character. Um, but this is what I've had to deal with, and this was his initial attack on me. I think he probably came out with some stuff before that, but this was on the video I was talking about the whole nature of ghosting. Like, Stephen is ignorant about ghosting. He doesn't understand what it means. It's not when someone rejects you and you can't take no for an answer. That is not what ghosting is. If Stevie would actually bother to do his homework and educate himself on what this involves, then he might realize what an obnoxious ass he is coming across as. But he's called himself a feminist. Well, male feminists like him, they're such clowns because they think that they're standing up for women. They're not really doing that. they actually have a sexist attitude to women. They think that all women are the same, and they think that all women are defenseless little girls. That makes them actually quite patronizing towards women. And just generalizing is not a good approach to take. Um, Broadly, I was going to say generally, but it's just generalizing any group of people isn't an intelligent approach to take. What Stevie Walsh does is he generalizes women. He thinks they're all innocent, defenseless little girls who need to be protected by him. He's a knight in shining armor, and he's a great defender of women's rights. I think he won the Nobel Peace Prize once, actually, for defending women's rights, or so he thinks. Um, but this is the guy I've had to put up with. Now, in my live stream, I admit I lost my rag a little bit. Um, Probably I could, I probably shouldn't have let him get under my skin. But when you have a stranger throwing out these false charges, trolling your channel, and just distorting things that you've said, it is frustrating. And but that's on me. I shouldn't let him get under my skin. The reason I'm making this video is to set the record straight because this guy has been coming on to the videos I made specifically about online dating. I've explained that the reason I make those videos is to give people a sort of insight into what it's about because there may be people out there thinking, should I go into this online dating thing or not? I'm not telling anyone else how to think. I'm just saying this is my experience. It's just something to be aware of. Now, I stand by everything I've said about ghosting, and not a single syllable this idiot has come out with changes my mind on that. There's absolutely nothing misogynistic about what I've said. And I have also clearly said that women can also be victims of ghosting. There's plenty of examples of guys that just bugger off without saying a word. But I stand by my view. I think it is cowardly. I think it's immature. Um, But this guy, clearly he is very sheltered. Clearly he hasn't had difficulties in relationships. And if he's going to say that he's never had problems, he's a liar. He's simply a liar. I defy anyone to say that they've never had issues in relationships. Sure, you may get people who, on the surface, seem ostensibly more successful, but even these happily married people, I guarantee you they'll have their off days. They'll have days where they argue or things aren't going quite well. But Stevie Walsh, Stephen Walsh, Steve Walsh, whatever he wants to call himself, um, he's kind of the personification of the sort of, I don't know, virtue signaling troll. And they're a particularly strange breed. You get some trolls who are obviously trolls, where they just come in and call people names and they shit stir. But this guy actually thinks he's doing something good. He actually thinks he has some sort of moral purpose with this, but he doesn't. He really, really doesn't because he's bothering me. If he feels as strongly as he does, he could do several things. He could bother actual misogynists. He can upload videos of his own. He's scared to show his face, and I'm not saying, by the way, there's anything wrong with people participating on YouTube and not uploading videos. That's fine. I used to do that myself because I didn't have the technology to upload videos. But if you're going to troll someone's channel, I think you should have the courage of your conviction. Now, you can like me or dislike me, but I show my face, okay? And I know that I run the risk of having people criticize me. That's the nature of being on the internet. But what I will not tolerate is clueless, ignorant people distorting my position when they're clearly ignorant about the subject. This is the thing. He's actually ignorant about the subject of online dating. He clearly doesn't understand it. He clearly doesn't understand basic terminology. So I'm dealing with someone who is attacking me on terms that he doesn't even understand. He doesn't even understand what ghosting means. Now, I would invite him, if he wants to do something useful with his time, actually go to those videos. Some of them are a lot more popular than my channel. He can go to those channels talking about the subject, and universally, or almost universally, they will say pretty much similar to what I've been saying, which is it is an internalized thing whereby people feel it's lack of confidence, or maybe they're getting petty revenge, but that's the reason they ghost. It's got nothing to do with the other person not taking no for an answer. That's a totally different domain. That would be something else. And sure, that happens. But that isn't ghosting, because if someone has rejected the other person, then they're not ghosting, are they? They're just being upfront. I've rejected women. Um, and if those women kept coming back to me, I'd feel a little bit strange about it. Um, like if they kept saying, "Oh, please change your mind," or I eventually I'd start to get a bit annoyed about it. Now, in another post, Stephen Walsh claimed I lacked empathy with women who are, as he put it, harassed by weirdos. Certainly not. I think if a woman's dealing with a stalker, that's a terrible thing. In fact, one reason I'm so critical of the paparazzi, um, is because they engage in stalker-like behavior. Well, not stalker-like behavior, they're stalkers. Okay? I'm very critical of stalking behavior. Of course I am. Any reasonable person would be. He says I lack empathy. That's not true at all. If a woman's had to deal with sleazy behavior, I've huge sympathy, and I don't blame her for blocking off those sort of guys. But I'm always a complete gentleman in my interaction with women on dating sites. Um, and I don't need to prove that to him. I know it's true. That's all there is to it. In fact, I think I quoted it in the video I was talking about, where the lady in question actually said that. She said, "You're a gentleman, but I'm having some issues right now." And but this is the point about my experience. She actually said, "I'll make it up to you. Sorry about this. I'll get back to you. We can speak later." So she wasn't saying, "I'm sorry, this isn't working out." She was giving me all these false leads. Any reasonable person analyzing that would say, yeah, that's unreasonable. She is being, for whatever reason, she's misleading you. But here's the thing, I want to make a caveat to all of this. If she actually does come back, I know it's unlikely, but apparently ghosters do this sometimes. They do actually come back. And we actually work things out. I mean, at this point, I would certainly need her to know what she's put me through, and we'd have to have a long, in-depth discussion about this. I would obviously need to hear her point of view. I would need to try and understand why she's done what she's done, and I would. If all of that transpires, then I would really want to work out. I'd probably take down these videos, because I don't want her to think I've just made them to badmouth her, because that was never my intention. Never my intention. I made them just to sort of give other people an insight into what to expect. Um, if I wanted to destroy her, if I wanted to shame her or something like that, which Stevie Walsh has also accused me of, I could easily have done that. I could have named her. I could have shown a picture of her. I could have done something like that. I never wanted to go down that path, because I don't want to destroy this person. I think she's done what she's done from a lack of confidence, and maybe there's things going on in her life. Of course, I've considered all of that. I don't think it's an excuse for what she's done, but I think that's why she's done it. Regardless, I don't want to destroy her. Um, but yeah, this is his behavior. And you wonder why someone acts like this. Why do they troll a channel? Why do they distort other people's positions? You know, my own theory about someone like Stevie Walsh, I'm guessing, this is my theory, I could be wrong, but I'm guessing that a woman in his life has been hurt. Maybe she had an abusive boyfriend. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe his mother was abused. Um, Maybe his sister was abused. In which case, I have a lot of sympathy for them. I hope they got justice. But for him to sort of externalize that and attack an innocent guy like me, by distorting my positions, is pathetic. So Stevie, if that's the situation, I'm sorry for the women in your life. But you are not being noble by doing this. You're just looking like a fool, and my other subscribers can see it. They can see that your accusations are baseless. They can see that you're full of it, and your behavior is being disgraceful. So, this little angle that you've been taking recently, trying to pretend that you're moderate, that comment just proves what sort of person you are. This was your initial comment to me. I'm going to read it out again because it's important that people understand context. Little boy, your entitlement is absurd. If this is the way you go on, no woman will be interested in you. Get over yourself, you sad little man, sitting in his mum's basement, crying over someone not messaging him back because you're clearly some sort of creepy weirdo dude that can't take no for an answer. Well, this just shows his total lack of empathy, his ignorance, and what he's been engaging in. And I might actually keep that comment up so people can see it. It's on the video, which is entitled Ghosting People at Cardis, 8th of August. So, yeah, Stephen Walsh, this is what you are. And I suggest you really look at yourself and you really consider what you've been doing on my channel, because I guarantee you, of all the ways to stand up for women, falsely accusing an innocent guy is not one of them. Okay, um, do something useful. Donate to women's charities. Um, Speak out against actual misogyny. Why don't you go and join a rally against the treatment of women in Iran? Something like that. There's plenty of things you could be doing that are productive. Upload a video of your own, although we both know that you're too much of a card to show your face. Um, but yeah, I just thought people should know the context of this. Um, and to my other subscribers, I know you guys will probably say, "Oh, he's not worth it. He's not worth the time," and you're right. Of course, you're right. But I just wanted to do this to provide context and set the record straight, because this guy has been going out of his way to, smear me. So I just want to set the record straight, and that's it. Um, yeah. So he'll probably use one of his pseudonyms to reply to this. Let him. Let him. He's entitled to defend himself. But everything I've said in this video is the truth. Um, like I said, the reason I made the dating videos was not anything to do with trying to shame her. It was everything to do with just giving people some insight into what that whole world's about, in my experience. Other people I respect will have had a different experience, some good, some bad. But I am by no means the only person that has went through this. I mean, there's a whole I even saw a report in the paper today about ghosting. So this is not some sort of it's not an imagined thing. It's a real phenomenon. Okay, people, thanks for watching.